All right, welcome back. Now we are going to take a closer look at the string manipulation. But before that, what is a string? A string is a sequence of characters. Okay, these are letters, numbers, symbols, or spaces enclosed in quotes. So they can be both single or double quotes. Okay, Python treats them the same. So strings can contain letters, numbers, symbols, spaces. Generally, it can contain anything. Okay, all right. So this is important to note. All right, types of strings in Python. Python provide different ways to define strings based on how they are written and used. So the first one is the single line. String is a string that is written in one line. Okay, so that is important to note. You can use either single or double quotes. Okay, so the multi-line string is a string that spans multiple lines. Okay, and it's called a multi-line string. Okay, we can use triple quotes. Okay, this can be either the single triple quotes or the double triple quotes. Also, we will look at more formatted strings later on. Okay, so the f string allow inserting variables inside a string easily. Okay, so use f string, okay, before the string itself. So you put f and then the string. Okay, but we will see it in action when we do formatted strings. Okay, so basic string operations, we can combine strings using the plus operator. We can also repeat strings, okay, using the asterisk here. Okay, all right, so we can repeat a string multiple times, and also we can find the length of a string. Okay, we can use the length function. Okay, this also count the number of characters in a string, including the spaces. And also we are going to take a closer look at modifying strings. Okay, changing to uppercase and lowercase. Okay, we can change all letters to uppercase or lowercase, so this is very important to note, but more on this will be on the string methods. So two is removing extra spaces. Okay, so we can use strip here, okay, to remove the extra spaces. We're going to look at it. And also finally, we can check if a word exists in a string using the in operator. Okay, so this is very important to note. However, let's go to the other side and codify it. All right, now we are going to look at the strings in action. So let's go ahead and start codifying it. Remember, we talked about having single line string and multi-line string. Okay, so let me create a variable here. Let's say message1 is equal to, and let me change that, is equal to, and I'm gonna do, okay, double quotes. Okay, and I'm gonna type in here, let's say hello, and I'm gonna come down here and message2. Okay, and this time I am going to use a single quote. Okay, so this is super important to note. We've already talked about this before. If you want to make a string, you either have to use a single quote or a double quote. Okay, so I'm gonna type that hello. All right, so now you can see this in action. So now let us go ahead and check what the multi-line string is. Okay, so let's say the multi-line string, let's say I'm going to create a text here. I'm going to say text is equal to, now remember we said it has three that is triple quotes. Okay, triple quotes. Okay, so triple quotes, let me just 1 2 3. Okay, so triple quotes. Now I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna type, let's say this is a multi-line string. Okay, multi underscore, instead of underscore I'm just gonna use the hyphen, multi-line string. Okay, and I can even go down here and I can keep typing. Okay, I can say it can have, let's say, multi-lines. Okay, it can have multi-lines. And now I can come down here and you know what, I am going to print it out. Okay, I'm gonna print, bracket open, bracket close, I'm gonna print it out, and you can see the multi-line string in action. Okay, so this is important to note. We talked about the quotes. Okay, using single line string, you can use the single quotes or the double quotes, and also when it comes to multi-line string, you have to use the triple quotes, which can either be the single quotes or the double quotes. Okay, so this is it, and see you on the other side. All right, Now it's time to do some basic strings operation. And the first thing that we are going to do, I want us to take a closer look at how to join or combine strings. We can combine them using the plus operator. So now let me just come here and create a variable. Let's say fname is equal to, and now in strings, I am going to input my name, let's say Ibrahima, and I'm gonna come here. I'm going to input my last name, and I'm gonna say L underscore name. Okay, and this is going to be my last name. Okay, so this is super important to note. So let me go ahead and input my last name here, and it's gonna be Jallo, Jallow. So now what I want to do is I want to combine them. Okay, I want to join my name, okay, and my last name together. I can create a variable called, let's say, info, and I'm gonna say this info is equal to f underscore name, okay, and then I am going to use the plus operator. So I'm going to use the plus operator, and then I am going to input my strings and then plus, okay, and my last name. Okay, so that's important to note. So then now I'm going to print out the information. Okay, all right, so now here we are going to add a space manually. Take a closer look at it. You can see Ibrahima Jallo. Okay, but if you can see these two strings here. If I just come here now and load this, you can see my name and my last name has matched. Okay, but what we have to do, we have to manually prevent margin, so that is why we put the space in here. So now let me go ahead and revise this a little. So information, okay, is equal to, I created a variable called information. Now I wanna combine them. So that is f name here, then plus, then my strings here, okay, double quotes, okay, two of them, okay, and then a plus operator, and then L name. Finally, I printed it out. So you can see this is how you can join or combine strings. Okay, all right, so now let me come down here, and now I want us to do what is called the repeated strings. Okay, the repeated strings, for instance, we are going to use the asterisk here. So let's say print, for instance, bracket open bracket close, and now I am gonna input, let's say, my name. Okay, let's say Ibrahima, and you can see here Ibrahima, but now I want it to be printed 3 times. Okay, 3 times on this side. Okay, and now I'm gonna come here and multiply it by 3. Okay, so let me just add a space there, and you can see Ibrahima multiplied 3 times. But now I also want to add a space manually to prevent margin, so I can come here immediately after the A and then create a space there. And now if I load it, you can see now beautifully that my name has been, okay, separated. Okay, a space has been added manually. And another thing that I want us to take a closer look at, it is the length function. We can check the length of our name. For instance, I'm gonna collect this here, and I am going to paste it here. But now what I want to do is I want to check the length of my name, so I have to use the length function. So I can come here and I'm gonna print bracket open bracket close, and then I'm gonna type length bracket open bracket close. So that is the length function, and now my name here. So if I load this, you can see 6. You can go ahead and count the length of my name. It is actually 6. Okay, all right. So if I want, I can come here and I can input something like, let's say, I'm gonna put this thing inside of strings here, and I am gonna say, let's say the length of my name is, the length of my name is, okay, is, and now I am going to come outside of this string and put a comma now, and if I load this, you can see the length of my name is 6. Okay, So this is an amazing way whereby you can check the length of your name. So go ahead, make some changes, try to check the length of your own name and your last name and so on. All right, so we keep going and see you on the other side. Okay, now the next thing that I want us to take a closer look at is to try to change letters, okay, to uppercase or lowercase. So now let me just come down here and let me just type my full name, okay, full underscore, let me change that, full underscore name, for instance, is equal to, and now I am going to input my name here and my last name, okay. So now that's that. Now what I want to do is I want to convert my full name to all uppercase. How can I do that? I can just say full, for instance, full underscore name, then I'm going to use, okay, so I'm going to say dot, and now I'm going to type upper, okay, bracket open, bracket close, okay. So now I'm just going to come here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to print it out. Let's go ahead and print it, bracket open, and here bracket close. Any bracket that you open, you must close it. So now you can see my name has been converted to uppercase, okay. So how about if I want my name to be converted to lowercase letters? Also, I can just come down here, I can type full underscore name, and now I'm gonna put a dot there, and now I'm gonna type lower. I'm gonna use the lower method, bracket open, bracket close, but now I am going to print it out. So print, bracket open here, and now we have to close it here. And if I load it here, now you can see my name has been converted to all lowercase, okay. So this is important, this is one of the string methods, but however we're going to have a special topic whereby we are only going to talk about the string methods. So this is just something that I wanted you to know. Now what I want us to do is I want us to look at the strip method, okay. If a string has extra spaces at the beginning or at the end, we can remove them with the strip method. So let's go ahead and just see this in action, okay. Now I'm gonna type here, let's say text is equal to, and now I'm gonna type here, okay, I'm gonna create a space, and now I'm gonna say, for instance, I love, let's say Python, okay, Python. And now I'm also going to create another space here, and now let me go ahead and print it out and see what's going to happen, okay. Print text, okay. All right, so let's load this out and see. Now we have I love Python. However, what I want is to remove the white spaces, right? All these spaces, we want to remove it so that it will be here, right? So how can we do that? We are going to use the strip method. So I can just come here, add the text, and I'm going to put a dot there and type strip, okay, bracket open, bracket close. Now I'm going to load this, and you can see now the white spaces has been removed, okay. So we are going to continue now, okay. What I want us to do is to check if a word is inside the string, okay. So now let me just come down here, and let me say message, for instance, is equal to, and I'm gonna say, for instance, Python is amazing, okay. Python is amazing. All right, so now I can come down here, and now I want to check if Python is in text. How can I do that? I can just say print, bracket open, bracket close. Now I want to check if Python is in the text, right? So now I'm gonna type Python there, Python, okay, Python space. Now I'm gonna put in, and now is, okay, I'm gonna input message, right? So I want to check, and bam, you can see true. But how about if this was caps P, okay? Remember Python case sensitivity, so false, okay. This P here and this P in Python, they are different. The reason is just to avoid making errors, okay. So that is why this P and this P, they are not the same. So for it to be true, it has to be the same thing. Okay, all right, true, you can see. Okay, so now maybe I can print also here and say if Java is in message. So that's gonna be false, right? Because Java is not here. Okay, and you can see it is false. So you can go ahead, customize your own things and try to make some changes and try to do some codes, and see you on the other side.